Thursday, the world and our country lost its rock. Talking Town would like to pay tribute to a magnificent woman, a magnificent queen, our queen. Thank you for your service, Mum. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Monday night's extra time. I'm, of course, your host, the Guv, and we are here in the chair ready to discuss the thrills and spills of Ipswich Town Football Club. Before we go any further, can I please get you all to just hit that like button? Hitting the like button really does help the platform, so please do so if you should so wish. You can obviously share it to all your friends if you know of other town fans that need to get involved with the live format. Obviously, the chat is absolutely, literally going wild, and we love to see a live chat that goes wild. So keep those comments coming in, keep everything coming in that you've got. Absolutely loads and loads. And of course, if you're watching this on catch up, please do comment. We have a prediction league which is run by one of our community members, Matt Stannard. Link is now in the chat. Several games to choose, obviously one of which will be tomorrow night's Ipswich Town versus Bristol Rovers. We want more numbers in those prediction leagues, so if you've not yet done it, there is still plenty of time. There is still, you're not a million miles away from the leader, believe me, and you can quickly, with Matt's wonderful point system, make it up. So hit the link, get involved. Doesn't matter if you've played 1 week, left it, or not played at all. We want as many people as you possibly can to get involved. Right, a couple of comments before we go any further. Matt Stannard is here, so if you've got any prediction league questions, do ask. He says, question, pre-football Nando's, epic idea or no way, that's carnage. I've not had a Nando's in absolutely ages. It really has been a very, very long time. Ben Hobbs, Moby is here. Don't think it'll be somber tomorrow. Well, we'll get into that in just a second. Mike Baker, an extra week on the training pitch, working on stuff should have done us no harm. Good evening, Emerson, Stephen, Jason's here. David, good afternoon. Good evening, Jason. David, sorry. Hi guys, how are you all doing this evening? Not too bad, thank you. If I do, Guv, it's rate my takeaway time. Absolutely, I love rating a takeaway. I did this at the weekend when Cruncher posted his Chinese, and I've got to be honest. Some people have literature as their thing. Some have general knowledge. Some are mathematicians. Some are Nobel Peace Prize winners. I am a takeaway connoisseur, so I know a good one from a bad one, and I know what's right and what's wrong. So if you want to get involved in our Discord. Links in the community chat. If you're not a community member yet, why not? Become a Talking Town 5th Stander today. What does 5th Stander mean? It means you're a supporter through either our Ko-Fi or you are a YouTube member. It's never been a better time to be a YouTube or Ko-Fi 5th Stander. So do use the link in the chat to support the platform. Right, cracking on. Let's go. Let's go ahead and bring in our first contributor. You love him. The Milktray man, Ben Adams.
You know when you're gonna go break up from a girlfriend, right?
Benny boy, how are you, sir?
Really good, man. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. Yeah, not too bad. Good. Never enough hours in the day to do what we need to do.
I hear that.
You hear that? I know you're a very, very busy man. Prediction League. I know I've not yet seen the Milktray name in amongst the leaderboard, but if you were to play this week, and you were to go with a cheeky prediction, where would you sort of be heading this week on the prediction board? Are you confident before we get into tonight's show about tomorrow night?
I am very confident, actually, because I think more because I don't have a reason not to be. And thinking back all those times when I think I wasn't confident, I think we all probably have plenty of reasons not to be confident about playing a team. But I expect nothing more than a victory, which is so strange to say, and makes a wonderful Tuesday night under the lights even better.
Okay, you expect nothing more than a victory. Can what I'm going to unleash on you later on this evening about Bristol Rovers change your mind? Who knows? We shall wait to see. We've also got obviously Cheltenham at home to Cambridge. Cambridge, who we were supposed to be playing on Saturday, just gone. Do you fancy an away win that one, or do you think Cheltenham might pick up the result?
Yeah, I do. I think Cambridge are a good side. I think they're a pretty solid team. They have an ability to create an upset. I'm just obviously disappointed we didn't play them, of course, but for extremely extenuating circumstances. And I'll kind of echo that tribute to the Queen, which is devastating. And I think something like a lot of us felt very personally, and maybe part of the process is it kind of reminds us of maybe the mortality of the people that we love and we know, to see something that's always been there than something that's not. And of course, it's the way of life. Football will roll on. So it's something that's always been there that's taken away. And tomorrow we have something that's there that we're going to continue with. So it's just funny the way that life works, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Heidi's excited for her first game tomorrow. Thanks for winning the tickets. Look at that, Heidi winning the tickets. That
awesome. Well done, Heidi.
Was given away. Lots of love in the Discord for a Matt. Jordan is TT's Jordan Peterson. Who's TT's Jordan Peterson? Let me know. I'd like to know. Do I want to know that? I don't know if I do. Callie is back from his holiday. Apparently, he has some ouzo for me. Love that, Callie.
Lovely.
I expect you to deliver that. I mean, have you ever had ouzo?
Yeah, usually about sort of 2:10 at a lock-in, when all of your kind of decision-making skills have kind of already gone to sleep for the night. Yeah, it is. Ouzo is one of those.
Yeah, it's one of the. Yeah, well, I've only ever had it when I've been in Greece, funnily enough, and it's normally just before the all-inclusive is shutting, and you want to get as many shots down you, so you go for the strongest potent stuff, and it's like wallpaper paste. But I wonder if this man big fish, Tom Jane.
I think the squad of 24-25 that we've got are good enough to do something in this league.
Ouzo for you?
I've got bad memories on that. Really.
Bad memories. Oh, where's bad memories is a good story. So lay it on us, big fish. What's going on?
Freshers week at Sheffield Hallam University. We went down to someone's flat and they had a lot of ouzo. And I think the thing about it is it's not like Sambuca in the sense that it dries you out, and no matter how much water you drink after it, it does nothing. And it just suffocated me from the inside out. And the next morning, I don't want to talk about it.
No amount of good can outdo the bad. Yeah, 100%.
No. Yeah.
No amount of tomato juice is saving your morning the next day. 50 euros from David. David, thank you very much, my friend.
David.
We appreciate that. Thank you, David. You are a hero. You are a hero. Thank you very much.
You can buy 50 bottles of ouzo on that across the continent. Fantastic.
Okay. Well, hang on. With the exchange rate and the strength of the pound, I can probably buy half a litre.
You can do a couple of shots. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do a couple of shots. That's right. Tom, been a while since we sat down, discussed football. But you are a man of red wine and cheese board fineries. How have you been?
Very well, thank you. Been an odd week for everybody. I guess no matter what your disposition, what your thoughts are, it's been strange for everyone. So just hope everyone's all right, dealing with it in your own way, and hope you're all good, basically. But all good here.
I called you a little bit of a socialite, didn't I, in the Discord? I said, let's look at this socialite, ladies and gentlemen. He's always got a glass of red in his hand. What's he got this evening?
Ouzo.
I've got ouzo as well. Look,
Pint of ouzo.
Callie's finest ouzo, straight in from Greece. But no, could you?
Jesus, we haven't even missed out on promotion yet. Don't drink your pint of ouzo too soon. Jesus.
Well, that's true. That's true. But you are often out and about. Is it red wine when you're out? Is that your go-to tipple?
Red wine if I'm in, or at a mate's house, and then I'll have ale or lager when I'm out.
Oh.
So that's it, really.
What a wonderful beer. Make you feel queer. Oof.
Do you know what? Wine, I find really tough to drink because it's literally, you can be chugging along. Everything's great, bang. And you've literally gone from being sober as a judge to being really violent. That might just be me and my experience with wine.
You've just described our last 3 seasons.
Well, that's true. Yes, that is true. But is that your experience, Tom? You a bit of a
yeah. Well, as long as you stick on wine and just wine, you're fine basically. And if you have anything else topping and tailing it, then you're done for. It happened to me a few weeks ago, to be honest. I had beer, and it didn't go well. And it was a Friday night, and I thought I was doing nothing, and then I was hugging the toilet for a bit. So
lovely. We all love hugging the WC.
Anyway, cheers everyone. It's a good week.
Cheers. There you go. We've got
the older you get.
No, it gets worse. Mastan says if we finish first, is that Uzo's all around. Callie converting 2 Wolves supporting nephew to Tractor Boys. Good lad, Callie. They'll be at Derby away in April now. Good work, Callie. Love that. And again, thank you very much, David, for your kind generosity. We really do appreciate it. While we were obviously not on the air, on Thursday, we heard some not great news in regards to Marcus Stewart. Diagnosed with motor neurons disease. Everybody's got a Marcus Stewart memory. Everybody. I don't care if you're young, old. You've got a Marcus Stewart memory, whether that be lived or be that looking when the club do their remembering moments of Barnsley, etc. So I want to grab your thoughts quickly on Marcus and what he means to yourself and what your favourite goal or moment is. If I'm able to, can I sort of start with, I don't know, Tom?
Yeah, so given my age, I'm 29, so I would have been about 7, 8 at the time we had promotion success and playoff success. So at the time, I really wasn't aware of what was going on, but my dad's favourite player in the modern era was Marcus Stewart. So we all had our Ipswich kits when we were young. Dad had Stewart on the back, and Mum had Finidi George on the back of hers for some reason. We still don't know why. But Dad had Stewart on the back of his shirt. It was his favourite player in that era, and it's kind of always stuck with me. It's a player that I've kind of followed throughout his career, and I know how much he means to the fan base. And like gemming myself up on the history of the club, he just stands out, and he's such an important figure to us right now, isn't he? And hopefully, this is some homage to wearing this kit that I hope he gets well, and Absolutely. I hope he's okay. I hope his family are okay, and yeah, all the best to him.
And your favourite goal? You've relayed it to me on WhatsApp. We've got it here. Why is this your favourite Marcus Stewart goal, Tom?
It's just like he sits him down, touch, composure.
Touch him. Boom.
It's just like it's the composure of the guy. Like the first one when he absolutely leathers it in the top corner. I could have picked that. Could have picked his Wembley goal where his movement is exceptional, but there's some class about that. It got us to 2-2 for the second leg, and I think it's an important moment in time, and it's just a classy goal. So.
Absolutely. Great goal. Really is. As you say, sits him down. And then where many would have sort of lash at it maybe with the pressure of the moment, Marcus has that ice in the veins, cool, calm, just takes it in his stride, as he often did as a many stadiums. Ben, your thoughts on first part, Marcus the man, and then your favourite moment?
I was kind of thinking of this. How is it possible to kind of put down into one sentence somebody like Marcus Stewart, which is for a lot of fans, probably our age, was the kind of that figurehead of the only true, genuine success we've had at the club in the generation. Firstly, Marcus the man, who I think who comes across, and everyone who talks about him as a kind and lovely man who's hardworking and conscientious. Look at that interview, when he was asked about what Ipswich Town means to him, and he kind of looked out the window for 10 seconds and he started tearing up and he had to walk away. And I love seeing that, because I think the more time moves on, the less I see that of players for a football club. And that's someone who loves the club as much as we do. We all love our club in different ways. So that was beautiful. For my goal, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, there are so many to choose from, but for me, it was the Huddersfield away game, where that's it. Look at that. He hits it on the volley.
The Bolton game.
And he's got a turn and boom. And that was a player of absolute quality saying, don't worry, guys. I'm here. And that's the season we went up. That was a wonderful, instinctive, insightful goal. I remember it so well. And I often look back at it. I think we watched the Bolton game on YouTube every now and again, but that goal summed him up. Instinctive, wonderful player. Won't see too many of the likes of him again here, I shouldn't think. And it surprised me, he didn't play that many games really. He's only with us for like 2 seasons, I think, 2.5 seasons. But 2 decades later, we still talk about him as being one of the finest strikers we've seen in a generation. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about him. What a man.
What an absolute yeah, and obviously anytime we've had him on the platform, anytime I've spoken to him about doing something for the platform or this idea or that idea, just a gentleman, an absolute gentleman who's got the time for everybody, and that's not always the case, but really down to earth. And as I say, just could email him with an idea about a show, and on.
And I still don't think, I always get this impression, I still don't think he knows how good he was. But he's so humble. He's so understated. That guy, when he was on fire, was otherworldly. He was.
And I'd be walking around, cocksure. I would if that was me, because I'd be like,
I think we all would. But
I've sat Stefan Honcho down at Anfield, mate. Do you know what I mean?
It takes a hell of a man to do amazing things quietly, and he just done it quietly.
Absolutely,
and he done it, and
absolutely. So for tomorrow night, warm up shirts will be worn by, I believe it's both sides. You've got Town wearing the number 11 underneath their numbers on the back of their shirts, and Bristol Rovers the number 14. Obviously, both respective numbers that he played under when at both clubs. 11-minute applause. I have heard this as well, Mr. Parry. I'm not quite sure if that is actually a thing. I will double check that, but yeah, I believe there may well be an 11-minute.
It's
applause.
On the. I think Ipswich Town tweeted about a few hours ago to Bristol about having the applause.
I've got their details. I can't find the 11-minute applause in there, but I have seen it mentioned a couple of times on the socials. So why not just clap anyway? If you fancy, you just clap any point you'd like. Kevin, we've got James B. His first goal against Huddersfield was a good hit, no backlift. Stu Blue, Liverpool away, ice cold.
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh yeah, Stefan Honcho still trying to get him out of his back pocket. He's falling over.
Done him.
Stephen Parry, he has time for us as fans. We now need to show him we have time. Lee Bayes didn't get the call up because they saw us a little club and not your main clubs. Obviously, in regards to Stewart and the Premier League. This is my favourite goal. It'll come to no shock to anybody that's seen the platform before. It will always be my favourite goal. You got, first of all, the Town fans singing, "Are you watching Norwich?" I'll let you feel the rest of the song in. And then this movement is just ankle breaking. It is just, and then it's Premier League 3-1, 60 minutes. The time I knew, sat in Wembley, that it was time to believe that we'd finally managed to maybe do it. And applause on the 11th minute. I'd like to actually, Kevin, to be fair, I'd like to see an 11-minute applause. Just because I'd like to see how the stamina is for everyone's hands for 11 solid minutes. But no, on the 11th minute, just to clarify. Obviously, that news came on the same day as the other sort of worldwide monumental news, and that was the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. Football was suspended for the weekend, and not every sport was. Well, I'm going to go there. We never shy away from the big topics here at Talking Town, so let's go there. Was it right to suspend football this weekend? Tom, I started you last time, so Ben, I'll start with you this time. Was football right to be suspended the weekend just gone?
I don't really think I have too much of an opinion either way on this. I can see it from both sides, because the sports that did continue on didn't receive that kind of backlash of, oh, you shouldn't have played this weekend, and it went on. And I maybe there's something about allowing people to express what they feel in unity as one voice quite soon after something happens, part of the grieving process. I think we'll get a bit of that tomorrow night with a few more days of processing. I get it. And at first I was thinking, how can you call it off? It's a chance for everyone to come and sing that national anthem with the Queen one last time. But I do also understand that people show respect in different ways about when you respect someone that's passed. There's no right way to grieve. There's no right way to kind of in memoriam to people. And the EFL decided something different to, rugby or to cricket or to whatever. So I don't think I have much of an opinion on it, actually. Funny enough, I see both sides of it. You know,
Okay, we've got a couple of comments in the live chat. We've got no, it wasn't from Josh, no from Nick. Gino says 100% correct decision, and Legacy also says football is our nation's game. Of course, it should have been stopped. Gary with no, so that's 3-2 in the chat with the no's.
It's
Tom.
pretty split though. It's pretty. You look at people,
as it is up and down the country.
It's split.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tom, on that basis, you'll be well. What do you think?
First of all, there's not really a right or wrong answer to it. Really, it depends how the Queen and the royal family are to you and how you kind of respond to that. And I think initially my reaction was no, we should play on, because I thought it would be such a good opportunity to celebrate, like we saw at the West Ham Stadium on the Thursday night when they played. I just thought the opportunity would have been there for everybody to go out, maybe have a little thank you towards the Queen if that's what they wanted to do. And I just thought it would have been a good opportunity. People will get to do that on Tuesday, so it's not really too much lost in terms of time and stuff. And initially I think we should have played on, but you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because you can't keep everybody happy. So do you think it's a reap what you sow situation with football fans? We saw the scenes at the Euro finals. We've seen scenes up and down the country at various points. The government gave each sport their own decision to make. And somebody said in the chat here, in regards to it's a different culture to cricket, which I think is absolutely spot on, really.
It's fair comment. Yeah.
You know, is it a little bit of that, Tom? Is it a little bit of, football fans have been known in the past to be loose cannons. Who knows where they would have gone?
Oh, they do, but it's like the Euros final, it was bloody awful, but it's just like they don't represent the majority of fans, like the families who would have gone to football matches and maybe wanted to celebrate. So it's hard to, you can't really tarnish everyone with the same brush, even though we do have idiots in football and we all know that. And there will be people who are against it. You've seen people protesting on the services that have happened today, even, and it's so tricky, because you will get people who do the wrong thing in most people's opinion, and I think we should have played on just so there could have been that reaction-loose celebration, and I think it would have been raw. It would have been probably quite emotional and tearful for a lot of people, and some people might have needed that, but other people wanted to commemorate in their own way. So it's all down to personal circumstance and preference, really. So
a few more comments before we move on. Steve, understandable decision made relatively early and no issue from me. Richard, right decision in my opinion. Different fans, culture, and other sports has been said. Gino, playing and respecting a minute silent football fans is a big risk. Philip Lundell, the FA started the season a week early for the World Cup. What was the point of playing fixtures nearly for a week? They've shot themselves in the foot. But Stephen Perry, but the majority has always been hurt by the minority in I'd argue in life, but in football certainly. Craig is glad they cancelled out of respect. And Craig, to be fair, it's come, as it says here, when the double-headed fixture came out, we booked our time off work, booked our room, and couldn't cancel. We've been in Ipswich since Friday and think it was the right choice. It cost us a lot. Craig, I'm sorry that it cost you a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing you hopefully tomorrow evening outside Portman Road. Circling back to Marcus, there was a question from Jeremy, which I meant to mention in the bit with the Marcus, but I just seen it on my notes and I didn't. He asked, should we retire Marcus Stewart's number? Would you be in favour of retiring Marcus Stewart's number or any other number? Like Ben, you're shaking your head. You want to go first on that one?
It doesn't feel right. I understand the sentiment. I get it. And they do that sometimes when a player has died prematurely or tragic. So I'm thinking things like, who is the basketball? God, is it Kobe? No.
Well, yes, I think Kobe. Yes.
Retired the jersey. No, they shouldn't. And I'm thinking I don't think Marcus would want that either. Marcus is a man of humility and he is not a showboater. He's not one that would want to keep the number 11 forever. If my read of the man is correct, he would want other good players to step into that jersey and continue the great work he done. I think the best thing you can do for Marcus and a great tribute is to see other players in a number 11 and one day say to their sons or daughters, "God, I remember seeing the number 11. His name was Marcus Stewart and he was fantastic." That's the same number as out on that pitch. That's a tribute. I think it would be terrible if we never saw that number again. Because that rep, he is number 11. Number 11 is him, but he is too humble and too kind to want that retired, I would suspect. So absolutely not.
Okay, just to clarify, Tom, his exact question was: would you retire Marcus Stewart's shirt number in honour of the former player's name? Lots of no's. A comment here before you come in on the topic, Tom. Steve 154. Where do you stop? Didn't do it for the beat. Over to you, Tom.
Fair point.
I can't say much more than Ben said, and he's elaborated on top of it as well. Like that whole legacy thing, you can look at that number and talk about it for future generations. And like, you know, I would say no, definitely don't retire numbers. I think you should be celebrating these numbers, what the history they've got, and like just kind of like looking ahead to the future as well, and trying to see if those people step in those shoes or not. But yeah, it's a nice, you know, the sentiment's there, but I wouldn't retire a number, no.
It's a very, and I might be wrong when I say this, it's for me, it seems a very American thing. It seems a very like an NFL thing where you retire the jersey, big celebration at halftime, you unveil it along a Hall of Fame wall or ring or whatever. It's hard for me to say I'm against the idea completely. I'm just very aware.
What's your gut say, Guv? What does your maybe we'll put the question back to you. What does your gut say is the right thing to do?
Where do you draw a line? That's
okay.
defined. You know, define six. I mean, because in the NFL, for example, it's very linear. It's very you've got the Super Bowl. Only one team can win the Super Bowl. So if you're a 5-time Super Bowl champion, then you've won that 5 times, which means, you know, that is a tremendous feat against the other 32 NFL or 31 NFL teams. Where do you draw a line in football? Because, you know, for us, for example, if you were to bring it in now, you could arguably retire the whole UEFA Cup winning team, 1 to 11. You could
the whole England squad.
Do you know what I mean? There's that. It's not been done yet, so it's almost like you've missed the boat. You've missed the opportunity because now you almost would be, I don't know, disrespecting the past. I don't know. It's a really great question from Jeremy. That's why I thought I'd bring it to the party.
Good question. I agree.
It's a really good question. And as I say, you know, I would like the Hall of Fame to be more prolific, though. I don't think that's prolific enough at our football club. I really don't.
There's a thing when people do things, and you question why they do things. So, for example, retiring jerseys. I always think, okay, if you wonder why people do things, you look at the outcome. What's the outcome of retiring the shirt? It's to show respect. It's to show reverence. It's to show remembrance of the player he was. But I think I do say there is a through line of players in the number 11 shirt that happens anyway. Whenever we look at strikers in the number 11 shirt, I think we think back to Marcus Stewart. If we're not doing so well, if we're not whacking him in the back of the net, and God knows this season, look, say it as it is, our strikers have been massively underperforming thus far. So my tribute to Marcus Stewart, which is a very personal thing, is God, I see that number 11 there now. He's missed 3 sitters and he can't got any of it. He's been subbed off. I remember Marcus Stewart when he was in that. He was never subbed off. He always got those chances. Well, that's a wonderful tribute. That makes me reflect more on Marcus than if we never saw it again. So
yeah,
you keep
absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. Kelly said, with respect, he's not dead and God still makes a recovery. Absolutely, Kelly. Nobody's saying he is. But it's a question from Jeremy, a good question. Yeah. And you can retire a jersey without the certain first part of your comment being made there. And it's a good question to have. I just would wish our Hall of Fame was more prevalent. I just really do. Wish it was more front and center, because it's almost an afterthought.
Jeremy asked another good question. Who is our current number 11? Who's got that shirt now?
Do you know the bloody question? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Because squad numbers these days are absolutely
they're all over the place, aren't they?
Irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. They really are. Right, quick word from one of our partners, and then we're going to sort of kick it up a little notch. Ipswich Buses, your local bus company. Don't get stuck in traffic. Ditch the car. Go green. Go contactless. Go Ipswich Buses. Fares available from £2.20 return, a fantastic price and a fantastic service. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town. I feel like it's Marcus Harness. I feel like numbers are something that if you've got young children, you know a lot of, Tom. But as you get older, unless you put it on the back of your shirt, I could tell you one number of our squad, and that is Ed Sheeran, and that's about it. And that's only because everyone mentions we should put the number 17 on.
Yeah, I seem to know them for some reason. They just stick in my head, but I just seem to remember them. But I only ever had one number, and that was number 8, James, on the back of my shirt for Matty Holland when I had my first shirt.
Yeah, I hear that.
You don't get better than that. You really don't. Right, I've got goal of the month from Trimley Red Devils. Seeing as we haven't had any football action for over a week now, I have got goals of the month. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. I want to see what your opinions are. First of all, Max Paul with the first one. So, Tom, talk me through your thoughts on that one. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, good runs, beat the offside trap and it's like a lovely finish in the corner. So yeah, nice goal.
Nice goal. All right, Max Paul. Ben, you have got Josh Knight. Here we go.
Good positioning, read the game well. Yeah, good positioning.
Great ball in the box, to be fair.
It's a lovely box, but look at me. Just waits for it, and positions himself. He's away from the defender. Lovely goal.
All right. So far, Tom, Ben, who edges it for you? 1 or 2 so far?
Number 1.
1 for both of you. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Can Tom Smith come through? Here we go.
What, Tom?
Tom, talk me through it, Sam. What do you think of this one then?
Oh, control was brilliant from whoever's out on the wing. Yeah, smart positioning. Good finish.
It's a winger's goal. He just had to be there, I think. Good positioning, got away from his man, but yeah, a bit of a poacher's goal. Yeah,
poacher's goal. Okay, all right. So who gets it for you? Who takes the contributors' vote? 1, 2, or 3?
1.
Tom?
1.
It's a resounding goal number 1. Poll is now in the chat. 3 goals from Trimley Red Devils. You can catch all of their match highlights on their YouTube channel, Trimley Red Devils. It's done by a wonderful person, me. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all over there very, very soon. I think is that in the senior? Is in the senior division, Philip. So 2 against Westerfield and 1 against. Escapes me. I should know. I want to say no. I don't want to say Claydon. They're playing Claydon next. I don't know. But anyway, 1, 2, or 3. I think I agree with both of you. Well, 1 for me.
Do you like 1 because when you've got away from your man and you've got all that time to run towards the goalkeeper. How many times we see it at Town where it's almost like you've got so many options. You pick the hardest one and you either put it in his legs or you put it around the side of the thing. It's almost like those simple goals. It's like there's too many options. And we've seen players scuff. I know Norwood was guilty of it a lot of times. Jackson's guilty of it a lot of the times where you've done the hard work. All you've got to do is pick a place and score. And that's where it falls down. And I think it still falls down for us this season with our strikers. So, yeah, well done. Well done.
Okay. Mr. Ipswich Town says, great goal. 3 all day long. Good control, good pass, good finish. Stephen says, for the other 2, the crosses made the goal.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, on to Bristol Rovers then. Tomorrow, 7:45, under the lights at Portman Road. We shall return. Rovers are currently sitting in 16th. They have their form reads 1 lost, drawn. And their top goal scorer is Aaron Collins, who's been playing left wing, I believe, according to SofaScore. 4 goals. He has gotten 3 assists. Formation-wise, Tommy, 4-4-2 against Crawley in the Cup last time out, but mostly 4-2-3-1 in the division. Is this a game that is a potential slip up? Is it a catch you out game, do you think? Fresh off the break? Or is it this should be a resounding home victory? What do you think?
Yeah, I reduced my prediction scoreline for today based on the fact that we've just had that little bit extra few days of like not playing, and so maybe that could set in. And we're playing a Joey Barton team, so I wouldn't take it for granted. Like some of the teams in this division, I will not take for granted, even though people might say they're tin pot or whatever. I treat everyone probably with respect because we're in the same league as them, so we have to. But yeah, I think 2-0 win for us tomorrow. I'm comfortable that we will win, but I'm not going to say it's going to be an absolute walk in the park. I hope
that's one thing Joey Barton will always do, isn't it? He'll always have his teams up for the fight. There'll be that devilment in his teams, won't there, Tom?
Yeah, and he was right all those years ago when we were holding hands up on the beach and we're going to win the league type thing, and he was right and we were wrong. So
yeah.
He'll know how to get into us. He knows if a good we're not at that arrogant level, I think, which we were under Lambert in a way, but we're a bit more calm and composed. I think we've got enough about us. I think we know we've got enough about us to win this. We've just got to do business, haven't we?
Exactly. We mentioned a great team earlier in the show. Marcus Stewart obviously played in a great team, that playoff winning team, Ben. And Kieran McKenna said in his press conference today, the culture of winning is hopefully a byproduct of the work we do. We don't talk every day about winning. We talk every day about improvement and learning. We talk about maximum effort. We talk about everything on the training pitch counting to the bigger goal, and we really focus on that. I've sort of got that feeling from the playoff team, the bigger goal, the focus, the razor sharp training mentality. We're going to practice as we play as we practice. Is it, Joey Barton there, Paul Lambert, you won nothing in August, but is this different? Is there an eye of the tiger in McKenna's Ipswich Town?
Let me tell you why we're going to win 5-0 tomorrow. I think we're going to win by quite a big score tomorrow because they're a team that play on the ground. They're front-footed. They're quick on the ball. They're quick to mark. They push a high line. They're a tempo team. And every time we play a team like that with this squad, we play around them. And the teams that we've tended to struggle with would be those kind of bruising, dirty fucking League One teams where you're booting it and crashing into people. They're going to try and come and out-football us tomorrow. I've looked at a few of their highlights and I've kind of looked at formations. Yeah, I have. I've had an hour this afternoon. I didn't know what to do with myself, which is quite rare. So I thought I've looked at where they are. They try and play football, but we play it better than anyone in the league. For those teams that have tried to play football against us, we've really put to the sword. So my supposition would be something like, for the first 60 minutes, they're going to try and outpass us and outrun us, and then they're going to run out of steam. And we are fit. We are really fit. And we have players that can actually come in and make a team better rather than sustain the team and the quality they're at, which is where I think Bristol are. So I'm going to put it out there and say that I think tomorrow is going to be a good scoreline. I think.
Okay.
When we lose 2-0, feel free to clip this so I look a fool. But I think tomorrow is going to be a really good scoreline because there ain't many teams that out-football us, and I don't think we're going to see that tomorrow. They're 16th, we're first, and it seems to be this season that those, we're seeing that we put to the sword teams that are lower than us, so we'll see.
Tom, if they come and try and out-football us, I'm very surprised at that. I would if I was a consultant to Bristol Rovers and Joey Barton this evening, I'd be saying, don't try that. That's silly.
Turn the fucking bus around.
I'd be saying park the fucking bus, not turn it around. Park it. Tom, would you be surprised if they don't try and park the bus and try and out-football us?
I don't know what to expect from Barton, to be honest. Like, he's got the arrogance where he might just go, oh, well, fuck it. We might not win this game, so we might as well go down fighting. But yeah, if that's how they play, I don't know how Bristol Rovers play, to be honest. So, like, I wasn't expecting to hear that they were that type of team. So, I think that could play into our hands if it's a la MK Dons, where maybe there's a bit of naivety and they just think, oh, we'll give these a game and we can control that. If we get an early goal, then I think we'll be fine. But
I agree with some of the chat here. Everyone's kind of feeling Ledepo to score. I'm kind of feeling that as well. And I've got no basis for that feeling other than I just think it's going to happen tomorrow night. It just feels in the same way that I know I'm going to enjoy my burger and chips tomorrow night, I think I know that Ladapo's going to score. I think.
There's lots of Lewis Robertson, kick it long, play it on the deck, park the bus, rough us up. We have the capacity to cope with anything, but we have to start on the front foot. Have you seen enough of us yet, Ben, to endorse that opinion from Lewis? Because I read that opinion and I don't know if I've seen enough variation in the teams we've played to truly say I could agree with that after 7 games.
Kick it long, play it on the deck, park the bus, rough us up. We have a capacity to cope with anything. Mathematically speaking, the fact that we're first and we've played a bit of a combination of everything, technically Lewis is exactly correct in what he says, because we've had all of that and we're top of the league. I do think we make more of a meal of teams that park the bus and wallop it, and it probably takes us a hell of a lot longer to come good. Our last match being, Fleetwood being one of them. That in the end, it's fitness that counts, fitness and quality. They ain't going to rough us up tomorrow. They're going to try and play football for 60 minutes and then they're going to swap. And it's how we use our substitutions, I think, which is going to be really telling tomorrow. I think we will be okay. I feel really good about it. And I don't feel good about anything. I'm a right cynical fucker, but I do feel cynical about tomorrow.
Ben,
go on,
Tom.
I was going to say, I'm waiting to see, off the back of Lewis's comment, how we deal consistently with the rougher, more shithouse teams. We've played Bolton and Barnsley at home, and we've come out with 2 draws. We played Burton away, they were physical, and we came out with 1-0. We could have been down at half-time. So that's where the jury's out for me, is just slightly there. We've got through those games and not lost, which is a big improvement on last season and the seasons before. But going and beating those teams convincingly,
well, not even convincingly, Tom. Have you seen a team yet that's dug in? A Cheltenham of last year. Have we seen? I don't think I've seen that yet from any team that we play where they've truly just said, "We're gonna if we could stick a white flag on the halfway line, we would, but we can't. So we're going to literally camp in our own box, camp in our own half, play between the lines of the 18-yard box, and ask you to try and break us down." I think I've seen that from any team this year. That's why I say I'm not quite sure I can endorse that opinion.
Not to that level yet for a consistent 90 minutes, which Cheltenham and Cambridge certainly did last season. But there have been times, there's been halves so far this season where we've struggled a little bit. We've got through it without losing, which, shouldn't be the benchmark for this team. We should be doing much better than that. So, we're not going to win we're not going to go unbeaten this season.
Yes,
I love that. But there will be bumps in the road. But I think we've got plenty.
Speed bumps. You go over them.
Yeah.
You can go over there. Well, I used to in my Ford Z-Tech, but that's another matter.
Oh, God. Really?
Nothing wrong with a Ford Z-Tech, pal.
Apart from the Ford and the Z-Tech part, but I suppose you're right.
Apart from the exhaust falling off part, that's what the real problem was. The fucking exhaust fell off it. Anyway, Tom, carry on. Sorry, sir.
That's basically it, mate. Yeah,
there's
been patches where we maybe have found it a bit tricky, but we will at sometimes in the season. And I'm just glad that we've got through these teams who have played less football, done more sitting on the ground or roughing us up a bit, and we've come through it. If that was a Rotherham last season, they would have bullied us off the park like they did. So
yeah.
I feel like we're coming through some challenges a lot better than we were last season.
Lewis says Bolton high press, MK Dons play pretty, Burton physical, accurate and direct. That's a good enough scope. You see, if I was a football hipster, I think the term I might be looking for here is low block. I think someone at home could probably fact check me on that one.
Low block.
Can we do anything against the low block teams? But I'm not a football hipster, and I don't.
What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
Fuck knows. I've heard it mentioned by people in the pub. I don't know. I'd have to Google it.
Parking the bus or something?
I think it does. I think it means the low block. I think it means teams that
comments
you low.
Can you interpret this for me? Because I have no idea what mine's talking about.
Like Ricky the Dragon's
drinking that Ouzo bloody podcast is now low block.
Low block football. Right, here we go. The low block football tactics explained. Here we go. The low block is an out-of-possession strategy through which team focus on protecting the defensive third of the pitch. The priority is to remain compact in a deep position, defending the space close to a goal. Fucking up here for thinking, down there for dancing. The back line is positioned deep, aiming to limit the space in behind. So it is a low block.
So it's parking the bus.
Basically parking the bus. Us three would call it parking the National Express coach. But Other people would call it the low block. Low block.
Well,
low block, high block, mid block, fuck block. We're going to win tomorrow, I think. I don't care. We whatever it is. But if you are a promoted team of any league that you win, you have to take every variant of play that comes against you and win most of them. So I would say it doesn't matter what kind of a block it is. Like if it's Attack the Block, which is a shit film, by the way, arguably better than Star Wars for Boyega, but even if it's that, we still have to win. So whatever it is, whatever they bring,
block, says Lewis Robertson.
Now
that was a show.
Linda
Dream
block,
Team
yeah.
was a great show. Hardster United FC. I want one of their shirts, Tom.
Linda block. Was she the one with the dark hair?
She was the chairwoman, Ben. Keep it respectful.
Oh,
keep it respectful. Philip
Still
Blundell was strong in every position this season. I'm just amazed. I knew what. No,
we're not strong in attack. We scored 2 goals, and one of them was off the inside of a thigh with a ricochet. We are not strong in attack yet.
Top of the table,
but we might be. Yeah, well, but
block.
that's not from your strikers. That's from your centre forwards and your midfielder, and your and from Morsey.
I've not seen a breeze block in years. Like I've not like those to be like prevalent at school, just breeze blocks. But now I've not. Well, those are the days. Those are the days. We've had some fun tonight. I think we've done okay for what we've obviously no football the weekend. I think we've not done too bad. Before we sort of wrap up, Duncan Farrow, does anyone know what KB is talking about on Kieran McKenna? Said that he's what? Sorry, Duncan. What? Sorry,
who's KB?
I've got low block right tonight. Don't ask me any more questions. I've already spent the 2 brain cells I've got rattling around between my ears.
Unless I'm being stupid.
I don't know. Does anyone know what? Anyway, moving on.
I don't get any of that, Duncan. You're gonna have to
refine the question. Or is he an ITK?
ITK.
Maybe Duncan's an ITK.
Well, I'm a therapist. I had no idea. So there you go. That's part of that tweet.
That's true. That's true. I'm just amazed. I knew what the low block. Oh look, there's even a little picture here on the website that I've got it from. Look at this bad boy.
Oh,
that's a low block. That's a low block. Look.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
a low.
I even got playing between the lines of the 18-yard box, Tom.
Oh, that looks dry, doesn't it?
All right, you're kicking me a bit more love here for getting low block right. I mean, I'm 33 and I still call it parking the bus.
I remember 33.
KM was well, it was only 50 years ago. Guv has a mental block. Cheers, Gina.
Oh, Brighton. Yeah, I saw those over there. Yeah.
He's not going to Brighton.
He ain't going nowhere. Why would he?
Are you worried about losing that manager though, Tom?
Not this season.
Not this season at all.
No, I mean, I can't see a Premier League club going for a League One manager with less than a year's experience. To be honest, it would surprise me given where they are. They just lost their manager to Chelsea. I don't know if the next step is that, but I can see Championship clubs going for him. But I would wager he's going to stay here and try and see his job through this season. And he's on a 3-year deal. He's got 3 years left, hasn't he? About that, so I'm not sure if the hierarchy are going to, let him go.
Why would Kieran McKenna want to do a Paul Cook and go up the pyramid and destroy his career? He has got here a project where they have literally said, do as you will. And by the way, we'll pay for it. It's yours. System, players, money, contracts, do as you will. But
what do you think, Guv, then? Do you reckon he'll go?
I'm intrigued, actually. Yeah, Guv, in fact, break ranks on this. Do not be impartial. Do not be the excellently impartial presenter that you are. What's your gut feeling say on McKenna going?
Here we go. Personally, Brighton, no, not concerned one bit. Not even concerned about a Premier League side. But when one manager falls, there is a domino effect that happens up and down. And we know he's been looked at in the summer by Watford, or I think I read that. That he's a no.
He's not going to Watford. Did
I say he was going to Watford? I said he was looked at by Watford in the summer
case.
before they made their appointment. That's what I read, or certainly think I read anyway. I'm more worried about teams up and down up the pyramid in the Championship losing their manager to a Premier League team, and then the possibility of where do they look? Do you run into a Plymouth situation of last year where, you know, they lost their manager to Preston? Would I call Preston a much bigger side than Plymouth? I would leave that up to you to decide. I don't know if I would, but he went there anyway. And football is a fickle mistress. When it's good, it's good. But the moment it goes bad, it goes bloody awful. And you've got to cash in sometimes, a bit like being at the blackjack table. You've got to know when to cash in, and you've got to know when to check and when to fold.
Not when you're fucking 35. When you're 58 and you've worked your way out to the National League and you're in League 2, then maybe League 1, fair enough. Take the retirement paycheck. This guy, he's fucking younger than I am, you know, and he's managing Ipswich Town. I think he said he was 8 years old when he was seeing Marcus Stewart banging in goals on the promotion season. Where else would you possibly go that has a history of developing young manager? I know this is all noise and all speculation.
Yeah, but that's all.
You guys are all a bit worried.
Irrelevant, though, isn't it? When's the last time this club cultivated a young manager, Ben?
It's a fair point. But I think that's a kind of manager we've always gone for. Look, all I can say, I can't possibly guess what's in his head.
No,
but I can honestly say I would be absolutely shocked if he went anywhere in the next calendar year. I would be shocked. But who knows? As you quite say, football is a funny game. I didn't see that Chelsea sacking either. So,
well, this is it. It was a funny old game. It was a fickle old mistress, whichever one you want to say. I don't see him going. My concern is when Brighton make a move, where do Brighton go? And then, you know, who's that? What club is that? What are their ambition? What is their outlook? Etc. But the Premier League doesn't concern me. It's always the domino effect, the ripple effect of what happens where and who and how. And because he's right now, he's a red hot commodity. He's top of the table. He's got us playing really well. He's got Athletic articles being written about him. You know, when you're in the Athletic as a League One manager, that's good. That's really good because that's a worldwide publication that focuses.
Lewis Robertson, I love that comment. I love that comment.
Well, I can't see it, so you have to read it.
A cultivated Magilton. Interesting. Because I rate Magilton. I like Magilton.
Yeah, you didn't really do much after Town, though, did he? QPR.
No, well, QPR, yeah, I know, and that was part of the documentary thing. But he was good for us for a long time. You know,
great for us.
If we knew then what we knew now, but you know, that's hindsight in football.
Perfect. Right, 1 to 11s. You've got two very similar, but one subtle change in your 11s. Ben,
God,
you've gone for a back three of Edmondson, Wolf, and Don. TJ, you've gone for a back three of Burgess, Wolf, and Don. So you've got 30 seconds each. Make your case for the player you've gone for. Tom, I'll start with you. You've gone for Burgess. 30 seconds on the clock. Boom, go. Why Burgess?
Last 3 games Burgess has played, we have won, and the same is not for Edmondson. I rate Edmondson. I think is great, but I think based on form and how they're settled as a back three at the minute, I rate Burgess there for now.
Perfect. Under 30, I like it. Ben, why Edmondson?
Perfect utility arguing that. I like Edmondson. He's always consistent. For me, they're interchangeable. They're just interchangeable. Looking at how they score their goals, they're very good in crossing, and I think Edmondson just pips it for me in how he heads out and stops crosses coming in. It's a very subtle thing. I think they're both as good as each other. Maybe Burgess has that kind of form at the moment because he's fantastic. But if I'm hungry, it's like comparing an Indian to a Chinese. They're both good. It's just what you fancy.
Absolutely. And to close, you've both gone for Marcus Harness behind the striker. Marcus Harness today in the press conference, he said that there was more recently, I've started to show more of what I can do and believe there's still a lot more to come from me. I've settled in well and I'm really enjoying myself. So I just want to keep it going and carry on building something here. SofaScore has him at 3 league goals out of 6 starts, 1 big chance created, 1.3 key passes, an accurate percentage rating of 7% passes. If there's more to come, just sort of how excited does that make you sound? You feel, Tom? Because at the moment, for me, he's up there with Chaplin, equally one of our best players so far in the first 7.
No, I agree. I think there is more to come. I think in terms of more assists, a bit more creativity around the box, and I think maybe drifting out wide and getting some balls in. I think he's got more to come. He's popped up in the right places. He can clearly score. I'm really happy with him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
If you need to get between 72 and 80 goals, Ben, what does he need to have a year? What does Marcus Harness' goal return this year need to be?
That's such a good question. That's a really good question.
I'll try my best on that. What
I would like is something like 12 or 13, 12 or 14, because he's capable of it. What I think will be sort of 10 or 11. It seems like the goals have come from the squad, so I would like to see him on 12 to 13 goals. Yeah, I think that's a really good, but it's all the other stuff he does, lovely pressing, the good footballing, brain positioning, bringing other players in. That's why I love the player. And if you can whack a few goals on that, I'll buy you a fucking shirt.
I agree. I do think he's one of the players that sort of relies on a fit Chaplin, in the sense of Chaplin brings so much to the team that we sort of missed. You knew he wasn't there against the last opposition, whose name suddenly escapes me. I bloody covered the game. I should know it. But you Accurate and Stanley, you knew he wasn't there until he came on the field, and you just felt, could Harness, do it on his own? Maybe he can in time, but certainly the two of them together, it's like the Mitchell brothers. Mitchell brothers together are just unstoppable. Nobody can stop Phil and Grant Mitchell. But one-on-one, there's always a Johnny Allen, always somebody you fancy. Oh, I don't know about that one. So Harness and Chaplin together, just a strong combination.
I mean, we've got two amazing partnerships. Well, three arguably. Harness, Chaplin, Don and Burns, and I would say Wolfie and whoever the fuck's next to him.
Wolfie can do
it. That's a partnership in almost every area of the pitch, and that's pretty damn good. And dare I say, Leaf and who's our left winger? Who did I say?
Leif Davis is our left winger. So do you mean Harness ahead of him on the left?
Yeah, well, Harness again. There you go. Because I think Leif is performing something spectacular at the moment. So yeah, we'll see. So Ben said we weren't strong in attack. We're very good at centre forwarding, but I do love in this league an out striker. I'm not saying you have to score 25 goals. Give me a striker that's going to score 14 to 17 goals, and it doesn't look on very early, minded evidence that we're going to do that. So we shall see. Sound, Guv. Sound.
Oh, no. There you go. I'm back. Don't know what happened there. Must have pressed the wrong button when I put the keyboard down in triumphant, thinking what a show I've had. But it wouldn't be a Talking Town production without at least one cock up. We're back tomorrow, pre-game and post-game at the feet of Sir Ralph. So if you're at the game, do come and say hello. Do come and say what you feel about your football team in your own words. Craig says, we're on tomorrow night. Come on the town. Hope you get to the game. Colin. Oh, Colin's here. Finally. Colin, we missed you.
Hey, Colin, where you been?
Yeah, I was worried about you, man. I was going to send you a message after the show, but I'm glad you finally arrived. Tom, you said 2-0. Who's your goal scorers tomorrow?
Chaplin and Davis.
Chaplin and Davis. Oh, Chet Davis' first goal.
Oh, Lee Davis, right there.
He's going to hit an absolute thunder bastard in the top corner.
But it's his first goal.
Thunder bastard.
I like it. Like it's his first goal. I like it. Ben, your score?
5-0. The only time I say it. Morsey, 2 by Harness, Bedepo, Chaplin.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Here's the big fish, Tom James. That is the Milktray man, Ben Adams. We are back tomorrow, pre-game and post-game. And then, of course, back on Wednesday at 8:30. Mike, the fisherman, will be joining me, in addition to, I believe, it's Lewis Robertson. But until then, hit the like button, subscribe, become a YouTuber or Ko-Fi Fifth Stander. This has been HL Media. Extra time. See you.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Oh, please lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you.